Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome to Dark Souls 3. The only Dark Souls I don't really see much conversation about. Like, I still see people talking about Dark Souls 1 to this day because it's Dark Souls 1. It's a classic. I still see discussions about Dark Souls 2. But Dark Souls 3, I never really see too much conversation about, and I wonder what the specific reason. The reason that I'm guessing is because it is the most straightforward of the three games. Like, it's been a while since I've played Dark Souls 3. I played it when it was new. I purchased the DLC, and I never played the DLC. So, I didn't play it a single time after it came out. This would be my second time playing the game. So it's also one of those, the Souls games that I remember the least about. But I do vaguely remember it being more straightforward in design. For now, though, we'll interrupt this cacophony of orchestra and start a new game.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep,
Formless in his despair. Just a big old pile of mold.
Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers.
Abyss watching is the pits.
And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital.
Oh, hello. Who even needs a face? Faces are overrated.
Yon the giant.
When you can just have a gaping void. I forget how you fight this guy. It has been a very long time. So it'll be neat to actually be able to play this game again, to
Only in
see the
truth,
content again.
the lords will abandon their thrones.
And then
And the unkindled will rise.
I believe she's the replacement for the Emerald Herald. And I forget the name of the character that levels you up in Demon Souls.
Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be Cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Okay, but I still haven't really decided what character I want to make. There are definitely going to be some things that I already know because they are consistent through like all of my playthroughs. My character will be named Malice. Young, sure. Class. Now, in Dark Souls 1, I went the role of the cleric, because I've never played a faith-based build up until that point. And it was interesting, but the faith-based build only kind of fueled the sword I was using, which was one of the which was an early sword you could get in the game, but only with the master key. And as for using miracles, like miracles only more provided an extra healing spell, which was nifty, but it didn't necessarily impact the gameplay experience. Then, in Dark Souls 2, I decided I wanted to try doing the sorcerer thing. I already don't want to do the sorcerer thing, because what is she wearing? Is she wearing a hood over her other hood? That's madness. Schizophrenia in reverse. Talking to the voices that aren't even there. Bonus points if you know the reference. Now, back in the day when I was playing Dark Souls 1 on my lonesome, I played the role of the thief. Though the assassin in this version seems a little bit more interesting, because you've got sorceries and swords. Swords and sorceries. I'm reminded that there is a video game called Swords and Sorceries. Or is it Sorceries and Swords? I've never finished it, and I would like to one day. We're not going to be depraved. We're probably not going to be a cleric again. I never played a pyromancer, but I'm not particularly interested in this giant pen. Now, I keep talking about, like, these armors, like you're not going to replace them. What is a herald? A former herald who journeyed to finish a quest undertaken, wields a sturdy spear and employs a gentle, restorative miracle. Warrior always seems like the most basic class. Like, it's like playing as a soldier in Mass Effect. Like, sure, it's effective, but it's also kind of boring. And also, it's important to note that just because you're choosing your class now, like, you can allocate your points however you want. And, like, in Dark Souls 2, I started off as a sorcerer, but I realized you do need to make sure that your melee is up to par. You can't just survive on sorcery alone. You cannot be a loner who left formal academia to pursue further research. An obscure knight of a poor renown who collapsed roaming the land, sturdy owing to the high vitality and stout armor. I'm thinking of playing as the assassin, because I've always liked the Astok, like the thrusting sword like that. Having a sorcery sounds nice. We'll try that. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Burial gift. What were we buried with? A life ring, which raises our maximum hit points. I never like bringing consumable items with me, because it's like, here's a rare consumable item you can only get once in the game. Don't waste it. Fully restores HP. Fully restores FP. A firebomb, a fire gem, material used to upgrade to fire weapons. The sovereignless soul of one who slept beside you, used to acquire many souls. So basically, free early level ups. Young white branch. Branch of a young white birch. Perhaps an offering of peace. Can be used to blend into the environment, but only once. And that's the thing, like, you can, and all of these items are temporary. Even the life ring, because you're going to find a ring that's better. You're going to find multiple rings that are better, and the life ring will be evicted. The life ring is just like the sovereignless soul, in which case it is something that is excellent for use for starting the game. But as the game progresses, its meaning will slowly fade until there is nothing left but ash. I'm gonna go with the life ring. That's the thing. I'm probably gonna find a life ring. And some free early on level ups. That doesn't sound terrible. Whereas some extra hit points early on in the game also doesn't sound terrible. I'm putting way too much thought into this. Let's actually then back up and go look at our face. Let's see, what do we look like? We look like... How about Astara Noble? Slim. We do not need thick. We're not going to mess around with that. All right. This is the only option I might actually see. Nope. Keep it... No, we're not going to do that. Keep it simple. We are going to go with... No, we're not going to zoom in. There we go. That's all right. Our brows, we're actually even gonna see those. We're not going to worry about our beard. Pupils, color of pupils. Yeah, that's good. Face? Nah, that's gonna be a bit much. Yeah, this is all right. Burial gift. Sovereignless soul. We're done. We can move on with our lives. But I'm sure we'll be fine. Like, the more... When Demon's Souls came out, Demon's Souls is like, oh my gosh, this game is so hard. When Dark Souls came out, Dark Souls is like, prepare to die. But as time has gone on, I believe anybody can beat a Dark Souls game. I believe that you can screw up your stats so badly and still win. Because, like, for Souls games, like, whatever you put your stats into, you'll still be getting defense. So even if your attack sucks, you can still continually level up your character and build your defense to the point in which, like, enemies can't necessarily hurt you quite as much as they normally do. And then I've also seen a YouTuber who I choose not to name, who is terrible, succeed. And if that person can succeed, so can you. All it takes is perseverance. Similar to, like, Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is, like, does amazing stunts. He's awesome. He is quoted as saying, anybody can do what he does. They just need to work hard enough to get it done. Oh, I can control the camera in this game? Fantastic. I can regular attack in this game? Wow. They've really strong attack. Oh, hello. Now, this game, like, speed-wise, is interesting because it's like a little bit faster than Dark Souls 1, but also slower than Bloodborne. Hello. Definitely slower than, faster than Dark Souls 2. We can backstep. Roll. I can roll with that. Yes, I'll be here all day. Well, you know how long I'll be here. You can see the time on the video. Although I definitely like the presentation of the game. It's definitely very refined Dark Souls. Even if it doesn't necessarily have, like, the mystery of Dark Souls 1 and the strangeness of Dark Souls 2. An Ashen Estus Flask, because we need more. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. So now we have two Estus Flasks. One that refills our magic, the other one refills our health. Which reminds me, I haven't bothered to look at what my sorcery does. Spook. Hello. Mask noises of caster and prevent fall damage. That is not what I would expect a spell labeled Spook to do. What did it do again? Prevent fall damage. How much fall damage does it prevent? Is there a maximum? A minimum? Alright, let's see if we can successfully parry this guy. Wow. Alright. My parry skills have never been particularly good. So 1 out of 3. Ah, this doesn't have a kick. This has a... No. Has a backstep and stab. Hello. It's like your character's getting ready to thrust and then does like a swing instead. And then this path is more or less closed off to you because there's a giant monster. Turn back. Yep, I'm going to turn back because there is giant monster. Can we see the giant monster? Can we look at it? Marvel at its giantness. There it is. Right at the top left corner there. So giant, so big. We are not prepared. Unless we want to die, in which case we are very prepared. We are very prepared to die if we decide to pursue that fella. For now, though, let us carry on. Change weapons, toggle items. Look at this mountainous vista. Can I? Is this one? Yeah, this is one of those weapons I could poke people while holding my shield up and then spend my stamina. And it's a bonfire. Rest at a bonfire. Restore HP and Estus supply. This bonfire is lit. That bonfire taught me an emote. Hello, how do you? For some reason, I believe these enemies just take more damage for no particularly good reason. Yeah. That enemy requires 2 pokes. The other enemies only required 1. Aha! Ah! First try against that guy. I can assure you my parrying skills are not very good, and I will be doing less and less parrying as the game progresses. Ah, you son of a bitch. I was trying to see if I can get a backstab, but I clearly did not line up my character correctly. Also, I should remind... Remind myself how you jump in this game. FromSoft has never been in agreement with itself on how you jump. Though I want to say this game actually offers you the choice. It does. Alright, let's see what these 2 fellas are guarding. Look, if crossbowman, if you're not going to protect... Oh, yeah, my shield does not do 100% damage. Oh, you... Healing yourself in the thick of battle. I can't even believe you would do such a thing. You foul knave. And then I believe there's also, like, okay, this is one of those things where it's like, this is the first section of the game. This is one of the most consistent things in regards to me for a lot of games, especially Souls games, is that the beginning of the game, I'll know fairly decently. But as we go on, that knowledge will decrease. Okay, we missed that jump. Let's try it again. Okay, we're aiming for that tree. There we go. A Titanite shard. For all of our Titanite shard business. Alright, let's go back because... Three Estus is not that much. Although it is interesting to see... I really should learn his name. Miyazaki, I want to say. Like, how even though, like, Dark Souls 2 was started up by a different creator and then finished by him, and it had its own development problems, and it's kind of like the offshoot to the Dark Souls series. The offshoot, that's the wrong word. I'll try to figure out the right word later. But it is interesting that, like, some of the ideas of Dark Souls 2 do still permeate, like the ability to decide, like, oh, you can have your jump to a different button. And more specifically, that you don't have, like, a full 10 Estus flask. They're like, yeah, you know, that's actually a pretty good idea, having you develop your Estus flask as the game progresses. Do you guys care about me? Nope, they're good. They're gonna do their own thing. They've got sitting to do and rocking back and forth. And you have a crossbow. All right. And what tutorial would not be complete without an immediate boss fight? None, I'd say. And the boss fight is actually kind of difficult, with 2 phases. Like, Dark Souls 1's opening boss fight didn't have multiple phases. Dark Souls 2 had a while before its first boss fight showed up. And we're just... And maybe that's one of the things that makes Dark Souls 3 something that's less discussed, is because, like, it focuses on being, like, the Dark Souls experience, and, like, it picks up on things like, you need boss fights, you need action. Why, hello. Now, this graphic effect with the mold on it, honestly, didn't actually look good back in the day. Like, everything else looks really good. Still, I would say. Except for maybe the face creator. Like, none of the default faces look particularly good, but that's standard for a Souls game. And then there's this thing. Sir, I'm gonna need your sword for unknown reasons. And your sword is gone. I thought I needed your sword. I guess I don't. Iudex Gundyr. Ah. Should have seen that coming. But yeah, he's actually kind of tricky. Especially at a level starter. I don't remember what my level is. Ah. Okay, heal up. Ah. And he's got a lot of reach. Oh, did I say he has a lot of reach? He needed more reach. He needed extra reach to capitalize on his reach. I guess that wasn't so bad. The heir of fire is destroyed. I forgot to mention one of the things that's kind of interesting. I need to stop using that word. Like, Dark Souls games, I want to say, have a connected storyline. Despite a lot of the disparate themes between the games. Like, Dark Souls 2, you were like, you had the dark sign. Dark Souls 1, you had a different sign on you that determined that you were who you were, that you were tainted. And that all these games do take place in the same world. But it's like thousands of years separating each iteration. So like, a lot of the history has largely been wiped away. It's a choice. It's not your typical choice, because this essentially means that every version is essentially new. Like, this is... Like, Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1 more or less might as well not be connected. It's just that, like, there's a shared lore at points. I will probably not notice a lot of the shared lore. Also, I feel as though the menu screen is meant to be a bit more pared down. Thrust into Shrine Bonfire to activate Bonfire Warp. No story. Just action. Actually, hold on, let me look at it. Can I examine it? There we go. Sword missing from the Shrine Bonfire. Cannot be equipped as a weapon. Thrust into the Shrine Bonfire to restore its power and enable travel between bonfires. The sword is only bequeathed to chosen Ash, as judged by the Iudex, who awaits the arrival of Ash as a scabbard. So we were meant to steal the sword from his heart and then kill him. Ah, we've uncovered the menu button. Ah. Much better. The elusive menu button. They have a boss fight in this game before they tutorialize the menu button. That's a choice in regards to the order of operations. But I suppose by this point, like, you haven't really needed the menu for anything. Your selection of items is so small that it's like you don't really need to browse the menu for any particular reason before the first boss. But after playing Bloodborne, I have to say, it is nice to be able to be back to playing a game that's running at 60 frames per second. The smoothness of it is very nice. There we go. Take that. And then there's your main... Is it a hub? Or is it... It's just your It's your Firelink shrine. I should really just go in there, actually. Not worry about exploring the surrounding area at first. Oh, it is Firelink Shrine. Never mind. It is just named Firelink Shrine. Oh, hello. God, time for blessing. Ma'am, you look awesome.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end I am at thy side. Ashen one, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how, Ashen one. Bring ye souls, plucked from their vessels. Ashen one, to Ashen. Farewell, I may the flame.
And now I can travel. Another nice thing feature from Dark Souls 2. You don't have to wait halfway through the game to unlock fast travel. What is the high wall of Lothric? I can already travel to the high wall of Lothric. You, buddy, pal, what you got for me?
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
I assure you, sir, I will lick their boots so good.
Don't you think? What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends.
Okay, yep, okay. You got nothing. You got one message this time. An enemy. Oh, hello. There's a blacksmith down yonder. I remember this area as being a little bit too sprawling for its own good.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust?
Yes.
A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You require good arms.
I've got 2 good arms.
Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
Oh. He, reinforces... I don't need any magic Estus at the moment. But interesting that that's a choice. I only have 1 Titanite shard.
Hey, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
Okay, this just takes me back up here. Oh, hold on. The bonfire will deliver thee to Lothric, your starting area. Like, I'm still going to poke my head around this area first, before moving on to Lothric, but now that I think about it, like, you are expected to fast travel out of this area, which essentially means that the experience here is going to be a little bit more disjointed in its how land is connected together, as opposed to Dark Souls 1. Although, to be fair, like, the Undead Asylum in Dark Souls 1 is itself disconnected from the main game. The tutorial area, once again, is separate. And now I can go up to these chairs and do nothing. Saint Aldrich of the Deep. We know these names. But we have not fought them yet. Holy King Lothric, last hope of his line. Okay, let us...
The mark of Ash will guide thee to the land of the Lords. To Lothric, where the homes of the Lords converge. Ashen One, to be...
No.
Ashen One, very well, then take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
Okay. We definitely want, like, things that are good for starter levels. More vigor, more endurance, more vitality. Actually, hold on. Yeah, more endurance and more vitality. I haven't really looked at... I would imagine dexterity is going to be my level up of choice as an assassin.
May the flames guide thee.
What happened to the sovereignless souls I started with? Unless, like, that was the meager amount of souls I began the game with. That's okay. We made a choice. We'll live with our choice. And whatever consequences it may have. I think that might be all of the people we can talk to for now. Oh, hello.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me, as is thy wont. No? Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion
Oh
new
yeah, I
wares.
forget that you can upgrade your store.
Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
And now I can actually sell. Is that actually exactly how many souls I'd get if I used that? Ember, the replacement for humanity. Farron Dart.
Ashen One.
Let's take a look, actually. All right. This makes, I think, the first Dark Souls game where you could actually, I don't know, could you sell? I don't think I ever tried selling the soul packs to the one person who buys items in Dark Souls 2, because like he never really is in the same area. He's always moving around. Or should I say, I never figured out what area he's consistently in.
How may I be of service?
We are going to buy Soul Arrow,
Ashen One.
and I suppose let's balance this back.
Just wasn't it? Brilliant.
Sit down at the bonfire. Actually,
Very well. Then take note. Farewell, Ashen. May the
we're still just a little short. Do I have an undead bone shard to burn? I do not. All right, let's take a quick look around this facility. Is there an upper exit? I want to say there are a couple tougher fights just in the vicinity of this building. Very rude. I wonder if that's how this person died. No, they just rolled off to their death. So I should probably avoid doing that. I also just realized I did not bother attuning the other spell I just got, so we'll have to remember to do that later. Or should I do that now? Because there is that tougher guy at the end there. Or at the end of the other path. I forget what he uses. I want to say like a samurai sword or something like that. Also, I look as though I am slightly on fire. Like the ember itself has created like small amounts of fire around my body. I mean, this is technically working. I appreciate the fact that he can be staggered. Nope, oh my gosh. Let's not fall off of the side of this cliff. There we go. And Uji Katana. And the Master's attire. And the Master's gloves. If I remember correctly, in Dark Souls 1 and 2, the inventory is on the left. And then the second option is equipment. That is way worse. Better curse protection. Better equip load, but terrible poise. The master attire is a terribly worn shirt. Men are fond of weaving tales to explain the raggedness of their garb. My sixth sense warned me of danger, and I danced between flurries of blades, unscathed, but alas, my clothes went to tatters. That's why I dress like shit. Terribly worn manchettes. No, we don't want to get rid of armor. Oh, hold on. How about the sword? We cannot use it because we are not strong enough. Or dexterous enough. A unique katana, characterized by the fine craftsmanship of an eastern land where it was forged. The finely sharpened blade cuts flesh like butter and causes bleeding, but breaks easily as a result. Yeah, the durability is half of the S-Stuck. But it does cause bleeding. Does not open from this side. How do you then access it? Hello, person in tree. Oh, an east-west shield. Does that offer 100% physical? It offers less physical protection. Get out of here, east-west shield. Go back to your cardinal directions from whence you came. So how are you expected to get to that side? Is there like another route through this place that I'm unaware of that will reveal itself as I play through the game? Also, how do I even access the DLC? I don't think I've ever learned that. I'm sure that that'll come up as time goes on. But now, let us level up. Maybe level up to be able to use the Uji Katana. We need to raise our strength up by 1 and our dexterity up by 1. We can do that. We can manage.
Ashen, produce the mark of Tolo.
I've already done this.
Then touch take no.
I've already produced the coiled sword.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
FP cost. What is that? What is FP cost? Help. Oh, amount of FP consumed by performing a skill. Okay, having the extra weapon is slowing me down. Is it slowing me down? I want to say there is a faster, hold on. Okay, hold on. What is... Is this really the fastest roll? Alright. For some reason I thought there was a faster roll. I guess I've just got to slow my roll. And let us head over to Lothric. I don't expect to do too much today, because for some reason I decided to start playing very late at night. Like a crazy person. Oh yeah, we need to, how do we... We need to allocate that spell. Oh, we have 2 slots. All right. I did not realize we had multiple slots. Let's see, how does... Oh, I had spook. That was not what I was expecting. Does your magic regenerate? The answer seems to be no. Yeah, you're entirely dependent on your Estus. Which is fine. It's to be expected. Now, this section I remember to be very sprawling. Like, it just kind of, like, branches out in maybe too many directions before funneling you back towards, like, the next thing to do. Like, there's a lot of branching directions to go to dead ends. There's a dragon involved, I want to say, at some point. And it's the High Wall of Lothric. Another vista. Oh, and a bonfire. Who brought all these chairs up here? Who made these branch trees also people? Boulder? Hmm. And I forget which direction is the direction I should be heading in. Oh, is that a dragon? Shall we poke the dragon? Yeah. It doesn't target the non-combatants. Soul of a deserted corpse. Ah. A longsword. Can I equip the longsword? No. We don't need to cast spells now. I see you there. Oh, you jerk. We won't worry about big guy right now. Maybe I'll still stick with the S-Stock simply because it's got a little bit better range than the longsword. And I can't access that while the dragon is sitting on top. Yeah, I'm sure once the dragon moves... Another deserted corpse's soul. Hello. Backstabbing is not quite that easy. Ah. There we go. That took a few attempts. Yeah, and this introductory area is a little bit on the trickier. Oh my gosh, what was it? On the trickier side, considering your limited supplies. I didn't even have a shield up, but does it really matter? My shield isn't particularly good anyway. All right. Oh, Hello. Okay, what hit me? Was it you? Aha! Nope. Yeah, I think that area is kind of blocked off at the moment. So we know which way to go, and it is not in this direction. Oh, did I get an Estus? Use back. Oh, no. Yeah, let's just go. The dragon has definitely emphasized that travel is not wanted here. We will go back the way we came. You are a different dragon. For some reason, I was assuming that was the same dragon, but I assumed incorrectly. Doggo, I challenge you to a fight. I've won, but at what a cost. Oh, hello. Oh, you're up there. I did not realize. Are you going to be in range? Thank you. Yeah, I really need to get a better shield. That's always the first thing that needs to be done in any of these games. Ah, that was close. A little bit too close for my taste. Ooh, Titanite shard. Almost as good as a shield, because now I can upgrade my sword. I'll stop saying it like that, I swear. Oh my gosh. Hello. I forgot about this. Ah, no. Let's back up a little bit. Yes, this is a very fair and proper strategy to fighting your enemies in Dark Souls. I want to say these guys don't come back. I want to say once you defeat them once, then that's it. But I could also be horribly wrong. Ooh, the longbow for my longbow-related needs. And then what do we have down here? I was gonna say, there's a lot of guys in this game, a lot of just random hooligans just kind of sitting around. Does not open from this side. Damn it! Where do I go next? Do I need to be heading in the direction of the dragon? Did I not realize I need to be heading in the dragon's path? Because if that door is locked, and there's no path over... See, this is what I mean. Like, this area is kind of sprawling, but with a lot of dead ends. I guess this is more figurative dead end to literal dead end. Was there nothing in this direction? The answer is nothing. The stairs that go to nowhere. Most mysterious. And I feel like I had the same trouble back in the day. Of just being like, okay, but where do I go? What do I do? I think I probably just have to run past where the dragon is. But I think this is where I'm going to stop for the night. Didn't necessarily make it too far, but we did defeat the tutorial boss. Explored Lothric a little bit. For now, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.